It's tough to gauge exactly what the average Russian thinks these days, especially with state media controlling the narrative and dissent being about as welcome as a polar bear at a tea party.
In Kursk region, with the Ukrainian incursion.
They say the first stage of grief is denial. It's the same with bad news. Whether it's losing land or losing Wi-Fi, the reaction is always, "This can't be happening. There must be a mistake." You know, everyone's political, whether they realize it or not. It's like being in a group chat. Just because you're not saying anything doesn't mean you're not part of the drama. It's easy to talk tough when you're not the one being drafted. They draft more than just opinions. With a median income outside Moscow barely covering rent and potatoes, I'm surprised many Russians can still afford a smartphone. Maybe that's why state TV is so popular among the elderly in rural areas. No subscription fees, just propaganda in HD. Funny how people stay quiet about a war, as long as it doesn't affect their family. It's easy to sit back and say nothing when they're not sending your kids to the meat grinder. I always wonder how they teach World War II history in Russia. Do they just skip the part where they and Germany made a deal about Poland? Like, yeah, Russia had a little collab with the bad guys. Don't worry about it. It's like when the US teamed up with the communists they didn't really like, just because they were slightly less terrible than the Germans.
For the first time in more than 80 years, you have foreign fighters on Russian soil seizing Russian territory. That's quite a shock.
Надежда только на мир. Я сейчас больше ни о чем не молюсь, это только о мире, мир и больше ничего. У нас очень давно не было нормального руководителя. Ельцин был, Горбачев, Сталин, очень не везло. Последний нормальный руководитель был Александр III. И вот теперь Путин Владимир Владимирович. Поэтому нам очень повезло. Нам нужно это ценить. Нужно очень прям вот, знаете, делать все, чтобы вот ему...
It's funny how some folks claim they want peace, but still think Putin is the best leader they've ever had. I mean, Gorbachev won a Nobel Peace Prize, but I guess in their eyes, bringing down the Iron Curtain just isn't as impressive as putting it back up in high definition. Sure, Putin calling it a special military operation sounds like a logical name for a rational choice, like calling a dumpster fire a controlled burn. I wonder how many years the average Russian outside of Moscow would need to save up 1 million rubles. Hopefully, they get a chance to spend it, if they can survive long enough to outlive inflation and the weight in the breadline.
Очень переживаю. Может, и сам пошел бывать, но уже староват.
You know what Putin might be thinking. You're not babies anymore. And let's be honest, I don't have enough money to pay all those retirement pensions anyway. Might as well put you to work one last time.
А что такое победа?
Победа-то, когда мир воцарится, вот, наверное, это и будет победа.
Honestly, I'm surprised they still allow BBC reporters to interview people on the streets. Then again, it's hard to get an authentic survey when everyone's either too scared to speak up or too busy making sure their answers won't land them in a Siberian vacation spot. Sampling bias? More like survival bias. In some places, they don't learn how to use a crutch. They develop AK-47 muscle memory instead.
В Курске, в Курской области. Очень волнует, много, в основном информацию черпаем из интернета, из телевидения, много противоречий идет, но...
Хотелось бы больше и раскрытой, больше информации об этом знать.
Finally, a guy manages to get news from different sources. Hopefully, he starts watching independent news that actually speaks the truth. But let's be real, it's going to take time and energy to detox from all that propaganda. Sometimes it's painful to realize the reality is completely different from what he's been taught since childhood in school.
The man at the top, the man running the country, President Putin, to secure that peace for them. The same leader who 2.5 years ago launched the full-scale invasion of Ukraine.
And I think opinions of Russian people do not matter. Whatever Russian people think, they will be sent to the front lines regardless. This is the harsh reality. For KGB officers that hold the power in Russia, there is no concept of opinion. There is only a concept of propaganda, all right? No opinions, only propagandas. So you either fall for American propaganda or for Russian propaganda.
You're right. State control isn't as strict as it was in the Soviet Union. But with Russia's war economy still churning out potatoes and tanks, they could keep this going like the 10-year Afghanistan war. Let's just hope Putin's gone before they have to start rationing the potatoes.